Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Sprout. So, since the last episode, I went on an adventure lighting up as everything I could find, basically. The majority of the town is now lit up. I basically just used the light from Ars Magica for right now, just to reduce the spawns that we had, spawning in our town and stuff. I will go through and change out a lot of the lighting later on, but I went ahead. The roofs of the buildings needed lighting up, and just lights all over. And then right after that, I started going through caves in the immediate vicinity and lighting those caves up as well. So a lot of that's lit up, and actually in the process I came across a dragon, and it was kind of connected into that roguelike dungeon that we found before, and it was one of those underground dragons. And he actually dropped an egg. So if you look in here, we have a dragon egg. It's an emerald one. Okay, so we might hatch that today. I don't know for sure because I've got a bunch that I want to work on. Over here, this is all pretty much the same as of right now. I did add a door here for Melissa's stores. And if we step in here, that way I can pop in here if I need to do anything or whatnot. So, we have a door here, and these mana pools are filled. I will say, I fell asleep with the pack running, and it ran for a little bit. And we have, let's see, how much chicken is that? It's like 9 stacks, but how much? 577 cooked chicken right now. That's not being used immediately for mana. Alright. So, yeah, I still have some zombies, and I don't know where they're coming from, because this is lit up way, a fair ways, because if I hit F7, you can see all this is lit up, and if we come out here, it's lit up for a good little bit. Okay, right in here, it's not lit up, so. But we shouldn't have nearly as many mobs spawning in the immediate vicinity. And then I also started working on this area a little bit. This basically, I have to connect this up. It's not connected just yet. But it's going to connect down to here, and we're going to have a lot of our cobblework stuff, and a bit of automation, and a bit of botania stuff down through here. Okay? That's my plan. And that's what we're going to start working on today, is starting work on the cobbleworks. We'll have some botania up in this area, and then we'll have a lot of botania down in that area. Is kind of my plan. And this is a staircase that I haven't finished because it's actually really difficult to build this. I built out 3 and then I was like, okay, I'm done with this for right now. But yeah, so I mainly did just a bunch of running around. I have them building another set of walls over there, but nothing too crazy. Mainly working on this and then lighting stuff up since last episode. Now, one other thing that Phoenix Lodge actually brought up and mentioned to me. Let me grab these oak fences and some sticks. And I figured I'd do this on camera because I actually forgot that the fence overhaul mod was in this pack. There are diagonal oak fences. Okay, now these, let's go ahead and craft some of them. And there we go. What these do is they are, as the name implies, they are diagonal fences. Okay, and we're gonna spruce this little chicken area up just a little bit using those. But anyways, what I can do is I can grab these fences that are here, and I don't know how this is going to work with that being there, but okay, it works. I can replace them and make these diagonal fences. Instead of having those sharp corners with the fencing, we could do that and make it just a little bit nicer looking, And it really, having any kind of a curve in Minecraft is it's game changing, Everything looks a lot better using that. I feel like. I don't think the chickens would be able to get out of there. I shouldn't think. And a big thank you to Phoenix Lodge, because I totally forgot these were in the pack, and it's not a mod that I've used enough that I'm like, oh yeah, diagonal fences. And I think they look great, right? This is so much better, having that little bit of curvature there. It makes a very large difference, I feel like. But anyways, let's go ahead and throw those back in there. Actually, I don't want this chicken. You can cook it. We'll probably, here in a minute, we'll probably try to get our dragon up to max size. Okay, but first up, I want to start working on automation with botania. And the first thing that I want to hit today is living rock. And then after that, probably living wood. I will say that living wood will be semi-automated, basically where we can dump the wood in there and then it can make living wood with what we supply it with. Now down the road we'll fully automate it, but for right now I think semi-automated should be good. And this is the area that I'm actually planning on putting our living rock and living wood automation. Okay, that way what I'm going to do is I'm going to have probably glass panes put through here, and then we'll have it so you can kind of like stand here and you can actually see it running, but it'll all be kind of tucked away underneath this this kind of like overhang area. Okay, and I have most of the items that we're going to need. I went ahead and crafted them. It's like pure daisies, pistons, hourglasses, mana pools, pulse mana spreaders, some sand. I haven't done the lenses because we haven't covered how to do compounding lenses yet. You know, we haven't done any of that on camera, but I feel like you guys know how to do pistons and hourglasses and stuff. But anyways, this is the area that I'm going to be putting it in, and basically the automation is going to start like right here. Okay, and let me go grab some dirt. I actually forgot to grab some, and let's start off by placing down a bit of this dirt, and we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's going to be 6 long that this is going to cover. So we'll just bring it out like that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place our pure daisies down. One's going to go right here, and one is going to go right here. Okay, that way it covers this 6 long area that's going to be producing living rock. Alright, we're going to start with living rock. Living wood I think is going to be on top of this. And then we'll have basically a line of living rock, a line of living wood. I mean, I could do like a second setup and have like another 6 living wood and living rock over here, or do like living wood, living rock. But thing is, I mean, this is going to be producing plenty with just a single thing. You know, anything automated like that, unless you're in a pack that the costs of items and stuff are like crazy high, something like Project Ozone or whatever, a little bit of automation in a pack like this is plenty, you know. I mean, something like this that's running all the time, it's going to be great. Alright, so now that we've got that in place, what we're going to do is we are going to kind of plan out where this is going to start, where the pistons are going to be. So we're going to have a line of rock that comes out of here, and then a line of rock that comes out of here. Okay, and let me go ahead and hit that. Make sure that we keep everything lit up. Oops. And I may have to kind of bring this side out just a little bit. I'm actually pretty sure that I will. Yeah, I'm going to have to. That's fine though. I can do that and make the build kind of match along with it. It's not really a problem. Alright, so basically our stone is going to be produced right here, and we're just going to use pretty much like a vanilla stone generator for this. So stone's going to be produced here and here, and so what we're going to do is we're going to put our pistons down right here. And I will say, I mean, this is a very, very simple build using only vanilla and botania. It's the build that I originally used in, well, I did use it in Quantus as well, but I also used it back when I played Garden of Glass. So used to play Garden of Glass a lot, and this is very, very simple build. It's honestly as easy as any like modded, you know, Steve's Factory Manager or anything like that. It's about as easy as that. Okay, so stone's going to be produced right there. I'm going to put down, I'll put down a block right here. Just kind of separate that off, and I'm going to go ahead and dig these down just a little bit. So there's kind of a drop off. I don't want my water going everywhere. And then I'm going to break open this, and we're going to come out. Whoops. Oh wait, I can actually probably make that jump. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I'm going to put down water here. So I'm just going to bring this out. Let's see. I guess we'll have the wall come up like right here, right here, right here. Okay. And then let me go grab a couple buckets of water for right now. And I know right now this is kind of hanging off. This, you know, this will be all cleaned up like this before too long. So, and we'll put our water down right there, and then our other water bucket's going to be for the other side, the other stone production. And we'll put it down, let's see, we'll bring this out like that, put down our water right there. Okay, so that's placed down. And then what I want to do is back here, we'll just do just like that. And then what I'll probably do is just cover this in living rock. Because I want it so that if you look in there, well, actually, yeah, you can kind of see it back there. So I'm going to cover this section in living rock. Don't actually need that right there. Living rock there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put some living rock down in there. I'm going to have to go make some more just for decorative purposes. Or I may just get this set up and then clean it up, you know. I don't want to make any more living rock than I have to. Oh, no. Actually, let me go get some living rock. Let me just go get some stone. I'll make some living rock down here. Actually, I've got this. I've been making a bit of living rock, so... But I'm tired of making it manually. And I'm going to need a bunch for this build. You know, I'm going to be using a lot of living rock within our design and everything. So I don't want to... I don't really want to make this anymore manual. 16 should be enough that I can get this set up and automated. And then we'll be set. Okay. So... Then let's go ahead and bring that over like that. And now what we're going to need is 2 buckets of lava. And if I recall correctly, one of these tunnels, like I was going through all these tunnels, how are you guys spawning? Unless you walked over here or something. One of these tunnels leads to a bit of lava. I've just got to figure out, oh, here's one bucket of it. Okay, I don't know which one it is. There's lava over here. I'll just grab it from over here. I'm going to have to clean all that up anyway at some point. Okay. And by the way, I made those pillars there. Those actually weren't too bad. Just pillaring up and then using cobble to build it out. But I'm trying to make the pillars kind of match in with the, you know, kind of like the lay of the land and look like they're supporting this structure. Because as it stands, I mean, this structure is like really kind of floating. You know, it's got that one little connection there. Right in here, there was a small connection. Or no, it was right in here, which I cleaned up. I mean, it was very minuscule and it didn't look right. So I cleaned that up, put a pillar in there. I will put some more pillars later on, but for right now that's fine. Alright, let's pop back here. And our lava, we're going to want it to be placed right in this little section here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean that up with living rock. And we'll put our first bit of lava down right there. And I just heard it hiss, and there we go. So we've got some smooth stone that was created. And then we're going to need another piece over here, of course. I'm going to put down some living rock. Just like that. And then we'll put down our lava. Oops. And then our stone gen aspect of it is done, right? Oh, what just happened? I put it over the water, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Wrong spot. I apologize. I clean that up. Let me go get some more water. Oh, and by the way, like, I don't drink a whole lot of sodas, but whenever a new soda comes out, you know, I'm like, oh, I gotta try this. And so this weekend, I tried that new Pepsi Fire. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, that was probably the most horrible thing ever. Like, it was not good at all. I like cinnamon, don't get me wrong, but that just tasted like they took a spice jar of cinnamon, poured some like Pepsi in it, and said, "Here you go." Like, it's so cinnamon. Like, that's all you taste is cinnamon. It's I just couldn't get into it at all. It was not my cup of tea. Okay, but anyways, our stone gens are done. They are producing stone for us. And, of course, our pistons are right under that living rock block. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up one of our hovering hourglasses right here. And do I have redstone on me? No, I do not. Let me go grab some redstone. But it's like, I'm not a very picky person. Like, I enjoy most anything, you know. And so I got that, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, even if it's bad, you know, I'll drink it. I can't even get through, like, a sip of it. It's just like, ugh, God. It's so not good. So not good to me. Okay, I think that's that. That's all the redstone. Yeah, that's all the redstone we're going to need back here. And so this part of it's done. And, I mean, this is where the majority of the work in this build is. It's a very, very simple setup. And so then what we're going to do, before we start running the redstone, we're going to set up the end of this, because we need the stone to stop being pushed by the pistons once it reaches this point, right? So what we're going to do is let me actually use living rock. And most of this you're not going to be able to see. But we still want it to look kind of nice, you know. We're going to put down one mana spreader, pulse mana spreader, not standard mana spreader. We're going to put down one pulse mana spreader right there and one right there. And then what I want to do is, let's go ahead and grab our Wand of the Forest, and we're going to bind this to there, and we're going to bind this to there. Okay, so just a straight shot for both of these. And then what I want to do is we're going to put down a living rock brick right there, and then just a mana pool on top of that. And this is basically just to catch any excess, you know, if excess, or not, I'm sorry, not right there. I don't know what I'm thinking. Put it right here. Okay, and this is to catch any kind of excess mana that comes through this, or if something happens and it doesn't load properly or whatever, any mana, it's not going to go through this and start breaking things. It's going to go in towards this, and I'll show you how we're going to do that in just a second. But we do want our mana spreaders pointing towards that stone block and not to the mana pool. Okay, and then we're going to take this other mana pool and we're going to put this down like right here. That's fine. And then back behind these spreaders, we're just going to put some more living rock like that. And then behind, well, let me actually put the hourglass down first. We'll put the hourglass down right here. And then we're going to put just a little bit of redstone there and there. And this is just about done, actually. Almost done already. And then right here, we're going to put down... I guess I'm ready to put this down now. Yeah. We'll put just living rock, and this is going to kind of be like a divider. Okay, very, very simple. So we'll put down some living rock there, and then, like right here, well, tell you what, I want to put it right here for right now. And this is basically going to be the end of the build. Okay, now what, actually, I'm sorry, one other thing that I want to do. Let's actually put this living rock down right here, and we'll put the divider right there. And then back in here, we're going to put a floating hopper hawk. Is that going to cover everything? That's my question. Ah, no, it's not. Okay. Well, that's fine. I can move it. It's not a problem, but... I mean, I could feed it mana and make it a little bit longer. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put the hopper hawk right down here. Okay, and then we'll have the living rock. You can grab it from right there. I think that would be the best option. I think it would look good. So we'll put the hopper hawk down right there, and that should... Let's see. Let me go grab a piece of living rock. I'm going to test this. I think this should be just fine right there. Okay, I've got living rock bricks. I have 38 stone to my name. Like, this couldn't come sooner. Like, automating living rock with this build is something I've been wanting to do, meaning to do, needing to do. I just haven't done it as of yet. Okay, so let me get some living rock made real quick. And then I'm going to go make a drawer. And I want a drawer that kind of matches in with our current setup. So what I'm thinking is we'll do like living rock bricks and then maybe a living rock front. No, maybe not. Maybe not a living rock front. Actually, I think I'm going to use living wood on the front. Okay, because that's kind of going to be the theme of our build. And then if I put... yeah, see, I actually kind of like that a bit. We'll do that. And then let me grab just a little bit of this, because I'm going to want to go ahead and lock in our drawer so that it knows it can only pick up living rock. And this should be the last time that we ever have to manually make living rock ever again, like, for the rest of the series, which is going to be great. It's going to be so good. So what we'll do is we'll put our drawer down right here, and then we'll just put our living rock into there, and we'll lock this in. There we go. Okay. And then above that, you know, we can do our glass panes and stuff. I will say this section here, it's probably going to be like one high glass panes, and then a section of bricks, and then one high glass panes again. Somehow these guys are actually spawning. I think that's what's happening, is these guys are spawning outside of that. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleanup work on that spawner setup, I think, or something. Okay, so that's all in place now. Now we can actually start the redstone for this. And so what we're going to do for this is we're just going to put in 3 bits of sand. You know, it's a 3-second timer that's going to activate the pistons. And so if we give this a second, there we go, it's starting to push those. Okay? And it's going to start pushing them on through until they hit these mana spreaders. Okay? And then this hovering hourglass, we're going to put our 8 red sand into this. And so that's going to start running. I am going to have to light that up a little bit, looks like. We don't want zombies spawning into this. Okay, and the pistons, of course, are going to stop once they hit the pulse mana spreaders. Okay? They can't push anymore once they hit that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the build. Now all we have to do is give this some mana and give these lenses. Okay, so we're going to start with the lenses, and to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 different lenses. First up, we are going to make ourselves 2 bore mana lenses. Okay, these require lapis, pistons, redstone, and then just these lenses. I'm going to go ahead and make 4 mana lenses, because altogether this is going to take 4 different lenses. Alright, first up, okay, the mana lenses should have everything that I need for this. We'll go ahead and just start out with 4 of these, and let me dump off some of this stuff. I grabbed all these like platform, or these planks and stuff, and then all these flowers. Okay, so there's our 4 mana lenses. And then to upgrade them to bore, we're going to need first pistons. Let me get 2. I'll go ahead and get like 4 pistons. Yeah, that'd be good. Then we're also going to need some lapis. And there we go. That should be our bore lens. We'll go ahead and get another one. Okay, so 2 bore lenses. And then the next thing I'm going to want is 2 magnetizing lenses. These just require iron and gold. Okay, simple enough. So we'll go ahead and upgrade to magnetizing lens and magnetizing lens. And then to combine these, we're going to need just a couple slime balls. Nothing too expensive. And then what we're going to do is we're going to combine bore and magnetizing. Okay? And we want to make sure that it reads bore magnetizing and not magnetizing bore. So that one is a bore magnetizing. And then we'll combine this one, bore magnetizing. There we go. And then let's go just add these to our mana spreaders. And what magnetizing does is it's going to cause mana pulses to magnetize to the nearest mana pool. Okay? So even though these are going straight, right at the end, they're going to kind of curve off and they're going to go for that mana pool. And then the bore lens is going to cause this mana, any mana pulse that comes out of this to rip through this living rock. Okay? And the pulse mana spreader uses very, very minimal mana, and with a single pulse, it should be able to go through all 6 of these blocks, and whatever mana, if there's mana left over, if something happens, generally there's not going to be mana left over, but if something happens and there is mana left over, it'll be magnetized to this mana pool. Okay? So we'll just right-click these on there, and then right-click it onto that one, and there we go. That is all set up. And then, I don't know for sure if this is going to get mana. If it does, we can just send it over. Well, let's get this set up, and then we'll handle that. Because we can, there's a couple ways we could send this back over. I might just put a mana spreader right there, and then have it sending, you know, a burst back over to this mana pool if it does get mana. And that would be perfectly fine. And actually might be what I do. I think I've actually got, yeah, I've got mana spreaders right here. We'll just go ahead and do that, just in case, you know, mana gets sent over here on accident. That's fine. Then it's just going to get shifted right back over to that mana pool. If something happens in this mana pool's field, you know, it's going to take a little bit longer. That's fine too. That block's actually stopping it. Okay, that's fine. Now, what I can do is... Actually, it shouldn't matter, because this is going to have blocks above it. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure this is lit up, so we'll just put a light source right there. Okay? And I mean, I could do a phantom lens, that would work too. But realistically, this is going to have blocks above it, and mobs won't even be able to spawn in here anyway, so it's not going to matter. But okay. And so now all we need to do is feed this mana. I think I'm just going to have probably some mana break away from this pool with a phantom lens and send it down. I don't know that it would make it that far. But, you know, I can add another pool or something. I'm still debating where I want to put the mana battery. So that's still something I'm kind of turning over in my head. I'm not for sure if I want to put it up here or down there. Either would work well. But let's go ahead and get ourselves an elven mana spreader. And then we're going to need a phantom lens. Actually, I know for sure that it's not going to go through all the way, because Phantom Lens, of course, is going to decrease the distance that it can travel. But Abstruse Platform, we already have one of those, so let's go ahead and get our Mana Lens. Pow, 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 pow. And then that. Okay. And then our Abstruse Platform. And there we go. Phantom Mana Lens. Awesome. And we'll just have this. For right now, we're going to have it right here. I'm going to probably end up moving it at some point, but we'll see. So, because here, very, very soon, we're actually going to be setting up a new mana source using slime. Okay, like a vanilla slime spawner setup. So that's going to be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. And we'll produce a lot of mana, even though this is actually producing a bit of mana at the moment. And like I said, we can still upgrade it, but I have to do some more testing in terms of that. I might be able to find a workaround. We'll see. Okay, I wonder if it could make it to here. If it could, that would be fine, and then I'd make another mana spreader real quick, Phantom Lens combo, or I might even use sparks, actually. Might use sparks. Okay, so that's actually bound at the moment. Alright, so if I sent... it's going to stop right there. I'll tell you what, we'll make a resistance lens. Just a mana lens and Rune of Earth. That way our mana lens, or not our mana lens, but our mana pulse can travel further before it starts to lose mana. And honestly, it should be able to make it all the way down there then, I should think. So that, plus that, there's our resistance mana lens. We'll grab our slime ball, and then just combine these two. And we'll go resistance. Oh yeah, I'm going to need the Phantom Lens real quick. And let's see, Phantom Resistance, that sounds good. We'll go ahead and grab that. And we'll just put this onto our mana spreader. Now it's possible that this might be able to go all the way down there now, because it should be a lot farther distance. Let's see, if we take a look here, where's its cutoff point? Somewhere underground there. So really, I mean, I could probably have it go all the way over here without too much issue. Now, I will say the mana pulse is going to travel a bit slower, but that's fine. I mean, this thing isn't going to use all that much mana. I tell you what, we might send it all the way over here. In fact, yeah, this pulse mana spreader is filling up right now. Hopefully, that one should fill up, and the other one should be able to get some mana before they send out a pulse, I should think. I mean, it's 80 seconds. Yeah, this one's just about filled. Awesome. So that one's starting to get... Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to give this just a second, and it's going to send out a pulse and break our first bit of living rock. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Okay, so we've got 0 living rock in there right now. And I want to go ahead and make some living rock bricks, in fact. Because I still need to clean this up just a tad bit. Hey, you got a problem? This is just about to go. There we go. Pow, 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 pow. And you notice it broke all the living rock, and then it all got grabbed and dumped into here. So now we have 12 living rock, which is perfect. I mean, it's 6 and 6, right? So 12. That's awesome. So living rock is now automated. That is our first step on the road to Botania Cobbleworks. So just the very first step. And then over here, I'm just going to kind of add in some living rock right there. We'll bring it over to here. And then, like, right up here is going to be, yeah, that's going to be a cutoff point. So we'll kind of bring that up, and then bring this up. Okay? And so then all I got to do is add some mana glass and all that, which I'm not going to do that right this second. But just a little bit of cleanup work, and do like this and so on, and kind of frame this into there. Okay? So very, very simple. And that is automated. Great. And then if this happens to get some mana, then it'll just send it over to here. Honestly, this mana pool is probably going to fill up fairly quickly. It won't take too long. Okay, now it's actually... Let's make sure the timing is right on this. There we go. And shortly after everything converts, pow, 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 pow. And there we go. We got all of our living rock. I do kind of want to get this filled up because you'll notice, I mean, some of the living rock is acting like it's trying to bounce over the edge, which it's fine. It shouldn't do it, but once we have all this in place, it's definitely not going to do it. And really, I could put living rock like that Not a problem in it. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And then I guess, well, I don't need that, I guess. Okay, so we're going to leave that alone for just a minute. Now the next thing that I want to do is, I guess I want to automate living wood next. Okay, now living wood is slightly different. It's similar, but it's still slightly different than what we've got here. By the way, if this... I'm trying to think if I want the wood to come out in the same direction. Yeah, it's still got some living rock. Sometimes, see, that kind of thing is going to happen. That's just part of it. But not really a big concern for us. I mean, if stone gets wasted or whatever, it's, you know, it doesn't matter. It's all automatic, not not something that we have to worry about. And let's go ahead and mark off a couple things on here. First up, cattle farm chickens. That's done, right? We did that the last couple episodes. But then also under our cobbleworks, let's go ahead and mark off, well, I haven't done living wood, so never mind. We're not going to mark that off just yet, since I put them both in the same thing. Okay, so let's get started on the living wood. This is also a very, very simple setup. And what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a Rannon Carpus. And let's see, Mystical Orange, Mystical Yellow, Rune of Earth, and Redstone Root. Okay, not difficult at all. I think we've got like everything we need. Let's see, do I not have grass? Okay, maybe I don't. Let me go grab some grass real quick. This is going to be a very similar setup, except for we're going to use the Rannon Carpus in place of any pistons. Okay, not going to be any piston work, nothing like that. The timer is going to be slightly different. We'll probably use like 9 or 10 red sand. I might even use just 2 soul sand. That way we make sure, because like I said, I mean, this stuff's automated. It's not something that we're going to need a ton of. Actually, I tell you what, let me get... I'm going to make this a floating flower. It's just a little bit easier to do that. Because instead of having to go 2 blocks down from the flower, you just go 1 block below the flower. So we'll get... I'll just go ahead and use this and get a couple pieces of grass. Let me go ahead and use this thing up. In fact, there we go. Okay, so the redstone root. There's that. Okay, and then we just need 2 orange, a yellow, and then that Rune of Earth, which we've already got that made up. So, redstone root, Rune of Earth, and then I'll have to go grab the other 2 flowers that we're going to need. But the Rannon Carpus is nice. It's like the Hopper Hawk. You don't have to feed it mana. You can, if you so desire, if you want to increase the range, but we have no need for increasing the range at all. There's no reason for it. Because the Rannon Carpus actually has a massive range, even without the range increased. So, don't need that. So 2 orange and a yellow, there we go. Dump this stuff into there. Actually, I'm going to need one of these. Okay, there's our flower, and I'm going to have to get a couple other things in a minute, but not right this second. And we don't need any kind of like cobble gen or nothing like that. We are going to have to feed it wood, but that's not a problem. Okay, so pasture seed. Let's get ourselves 1 mystical flower, which I don't have on hand. Okay, so glimmering flower plus pasture seed plus dirt, floating purple flower, and then floating Rannon Carpus. Okay, and basically what the Rannon Carpus does is any blocks that are drop near it, and its range is like a 5x5. I want to say it's like 2 down, I think, that it picks up flowers. And then what it's going to do is it's going to place those blocks down in the world as dropped items. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to pick up some of this stuff for right now, just so we can get into here. Because I think I want the Rannon Carpus actually placed back here. I'm thinking if we did it, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3. That should be far enough that it's not going to pick up anything. If I was to, oops, not that far back. Let's see, if I was to place this onto our hovering hourglass, right on top of that. What is it? Why you gotta do that? Okay, so if I placed it right back here, let's take a look. It would cover, actually I can't place it right there, but anyways, okay, it would only come out to there, so that's not far enough at all. I'll tell you what we'll do instead. Because I'm going to have to run a bit of stuff to this. We'll put it behind here. Okay, we don't have to have this thing visible or anything. Why did it send off? Because it had... I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we've already got over a stack of living rock. Because like I said, sometimes it'll act up and it'll be like, oh, well, we're going to do this instead. But let's come out, like, say to right here. If I place the random carpets down right here. Oh, and actually I don't want it to feed off that mana pool. Let me whip up another mana pool real quick. Because I think a few of my blocks are actually getting stuff from that mana pool, I think. Let me move this too. Okay, are you feeding off of a mana pool? You are. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Oh, I had a mana pool on me. I'll tell you what. I want you guys to feed off of this mana pool instead. And you, I want you to feed off of this mana pool. I'll tell you what's happening. The magnetizing lens was sending over to that mana pool. Might have been what was causing that. Okay, so anyways, random carpus is covering out to... right out to here. I could actually bring it back like two more blocks. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring it out 2 more blocks. So let's go ahead. 1, 2. Like I said, I mean, this thing covers a massive, massive distance. So we'll set that right there. And put our random carpus down right here. We'll go ahead and break that off. Okay, so now... it needs to come back up to... okay, yeah, because it doesn't have mana. It was displaying as if it had mana before, and now it doesn't have mana, and it's different. Okay. I've got it sorted now. Okay, so it's going to come out to there. Okay? And it shouldn't pick up any blocks past this point. So this, our stone gen should be fine. Okay? And so what we're going to do, we have to put a block below this that's going to dictate what blocks this places items on. Okay? And so we're going to use a block that we're not really using anywhere else. I think I'm going to go with something maybe like a smoky quartz. Let me take a look here. No, not actually additions. I want the block of smoky quartz, nether quartz around coal, makes that. Okay, so let's go grab that. And that'll kind of give us a little bit of contrast within our living automation. I came too far. It'll give us a little bit of contrast, you know, the black on the white, but it won't always be apparent, you know, and it won't be intrusive at all. I'm going to go ahead and make like 6 sets of this, I think. So we'll go ahead, that. Let me actually make 8 sets, because we'll actually need a bit of this. And then I'll go ahead and convert it over to block of smoky quartz. Let's say that's 612. Yeah, that'll be perfect. That'll be, well, it's a little bit more than what I need, but that'll be fine. Because I can use this stuff elsewhere as well, so. And let me actually replace that. Okay, so if we were to put a block of smoky quartz underneath this, now it can only place items down on blocks of smoky quartz. Alright? And then all we gotta do is we can set this across the top like that. Set this across the top like that. And it's gonna be kind of hard to get in and out of here. So let me actually break that away. Okay. So now it knows that's where I'm gonna place items. Okay? And let me actually put... do I want the spreaders over there? I don't know. I think I do. Kind of trim this back just a little bit. Okay. So we've got that placed down. And there's our random carpus. Great. And it shouldn't be... This will give us a chance to see if it tries to pick up anything from our living rock gem. It shouldn't, but just in case. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Kind of clean that up a little bit. And then if we put our spreaders down on that side, I'm guessing our drawer would be... Honestly, I'll probably just put the drawer next to that one and have another hopper hawk down there, grabbing all the living wood. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to set this up with items. Okay, it needs to be given items for it to actually utilize. So what we're going to do is we are going to get ourselves, first up, a pressure plate. Let me go grab... Actually, I've got this. There we go. There's our pressure plate. And then I'm also going to want to get... Actually, grab this. I'm going to want a redstone torch. I'm going to want a hopper, which I've got some made up. Right here. I'll just grab all 15 of them. The farmer's inventory is full. I can fix that later. It's not really a rush or anything. And then I'm also going to need some wood. And let me double check. I'm pretty sure that oak wood is connected into our system, because I'm going to need it connected to our corporeal system. So let me get this, and we'll say stack of oak wood. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, and then I'm going to convert this just really, really quickly. So we'll just do like that. And then while that's converting, let's head back down there, and I'm going to get some dirt placed down. We could do floating pure daisies, but standard ones will be just as good right here. At least I don't think the magnetizing lens... The magnetizing lens actually might break it if I place dirt right there. Well, actually, put dirt right there, and we're done. We don't actually need dirt on this side, so I think that'll be good. Let me actually get grass, though. I'd rather have grass than just standard dirt. Or do I want to just do... No. I'm going to do floating pure daisies. I'll make up my mind at some point. So, okay, our living wood is done. One thing to note, bear in mind that the pure daisies, I found mine from another... Oops, not that. I found mine from another botania hole that was off in that direction, if I recall correctly. Somewhere off in there, but you can use that blueprint that we made before. You can go just buy pure daisies if you want. They're not very expensive, if I recall correctly, but either way works. So it's like, now that I found pure daisies, I find them a little bit easier. I don't have to go out hunting them. You know, it's like one of those things, like, once you don't need them anymore, they're everywhere. So, anyways, let's get our floating flowers, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up these last two pure daisies. We're gonna need more pure daisies, so we're probably gonna have to buy some unless I get lucky and find another hole, but that's not a problem, because we are going to do a little bit more automation with pure daisies, because of course pure daisies can be used for more than just living wood and living rock. There's other uses for them, of course, which we'll get into in the very, very near future. But anyways, let me put that there, and we'll place our floating pure daisies. And these ones, of course, these are going to handle wood. And I'm going to go ahead and add like a bar here on the front. Like I said, I just want to see the wood and the stone being ran through this. And then we'll put some mana glass behind that. But okay, so now that that's down, then we're going to need a couple pulse mana spreaders, and I don't know if I want to put them on the other side. Actually, I feel like I do. I feel like I do want them back here. So we'll put some living wood, or some living rock bricks back here. And then... Yeah, because there's no way I could utilize the same mana pool. No. Okay. That's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a mana pool then right here. And I don't know if I'm going to use sparks to connect that. No, because I've got that there. I'll just do, I'll probably just do another mana spreader. Okay. Well, anyways, let's get ourselves a couple of these. Let's upgrade these to pulse spreaders. And we're going to set this one right here, one right here. And I think I just picked up some living rock. I did. I'll throw that down. I don't actually want that. Alright. Let me go get another hovering hourglass. And I'm also going to want another elven spreader. Actually, yeah, just give me a second. I'm going to craft up a few things because there's a few more things that we're going to need for this. Let's see, that's going to move mana. Because, of course, I'm going to need another bore lens, another magnetizing lens. I guess this other mana pool, we'll put this down, like, right... Let's see, we would have living rock right there. I could put it down right here. I think that would be okay. Yeah, right there should be fine. And that's just, of course, that's to catch any stray mana bursts with the magnetizing lens. So this is going to be a lot of the same stuff. So give me a minute. I'm going to craft bore magnetizing lenses, and I'm going to craft a hovering hourglass. And let's go ahead and put our redstone down. It's going to be over here. Because for the most part, this little part is going to be identical, right? I'm also going to need a phantom lens and a few little things like that. So give me just a minute here. Okay, so I think I've got everything, for the most part, crafted that we're going to need for this part. First up, bore magnetizing lenses. We're going to put one down on that, put one down on that, and we're going to go ahead and bind this. I'll tell you what, let me slip back here real quick. I want to put a piece of living rock right there to kind of hide behind that mana pool. Okay, and then what I want to do is let's get this, we're going to bind it over to there. And then this, we're going to bind it over to there. And you can see, if you look at this, they kind of curve in. Oh, they're magnetizing down. I don't want that. I do not want that. There's a mana pool right here for you guys. I'm going to just make bore lenses, and I'll put mana pools behind that. And then we'll see what happens. I mean, if there's a bunch of mana building up in that, that's fine. I'll do something. I'll put sparks on it or whatever. Or just actually a mana pool between the two would be fine. Or a mana spreader between the two. Sending the mana back. I'm not going to do the magnetizing lens on these because it's acting up too much. Okay. So let me get just some pistons. 2 will be fine. And then I'm sure I can use those other bore magnetizing lenses. I can use those elsewhere. It's not a problem. Okay, so pulse mana spreader down right there. Pulse mana spreader down right there. And then bore lenses on each of them. And then what I'll do is right here, I'm going to put mana pools like there and there. And then let me get one more mana pool. Grab this. And we'll see what happens, you know. This should be okay. I mean, this will work. It's just not what I wanted to do particularly, but it'll work perfectly fine. No real downside to it or anything. And then what we'll do is we'll put a mana spreader down, like right here. And we're going to say that you can send your mana. Oh, I'll have to do a phantom lens. That's fine. I won't put that in right now. I'll go up and get a phantom lens in a minute or something. And then behind these, we'll just put some living rock. And then I've also got another elven mana spreader right here. We're going to set this one down. Let's see, where's that mana pool at? I think it should be right here, right? Yes. That's our mana spreader, or our mana pool. And let me kind of pillar up here just to make this a little bit easier. Okay, so we're going to put that down right there. We're going to put a phantom lens on it, and then I want to bind it. Grab that. And we're just going to bind it over to that. So if we take a look here, yeah, see that one just got a pulse. There we go. Okay, so that's getting mana, and that one over here. This one might, I don't know. I don't know if this will run out of mana before that gets filled. I doubt it, because like I said, I mean, these use very minuscule amounts of mana, and this is being fed mana, but this one might actually go faster than this one. If so, I can use my mana tablet to move that around. It's not really a problem. And once these fill up, you know, they'll be fine, so it's not really a concern or anything. Okay, so that's done. Then all we have to do is set up our redstone, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the redstone back like we had it. Do redstone there, hovering hourglass, right here, and there we go. Okay, so now all we need to do is just get a phantom lens to put on that, to send it through back to there in the event that it gets mana. So we'll do that in just a minute. Let me grab just a little bit of living rock. I just kind of want to clean this up just a tad bit. Throw down some living rock here and here, and really that's about it. Most of this other stuff's going to get hidden. That's going to get hidden back there. That's going to be fine. Okay, so that part's done. Okay, once we put a timer in this, it can start breaking things and everything's happy. Okay, now over here, the Random Carpus, we have to set this up. And what we're going to do is we're going to put just an open crate. Okay, slight change of plans because I discovered that the Random Carpus can't actually pick up blocks on a pressure plate, which is fine. It's not really a problem. And honestly, I think I like the design I came up with a little bit more. The new design. But anyways, it's been a little bit since the last recording. Basically what I've done is I've ran our corporeal system over and then back into here, and then I crafted a couple things: corporeal funnels, corporeal sparks. And basically what I want to do is I want to set up our corporeal funnels, and first up I'm going to run a little bit of redstone here coming out from the hourglass. So that's 1, 2, 3, then we'll come over 4, 5, and will this turn to connect to funnels? Let's come over a little bit more. 6, 7. Okay, it will not turn. Okay, that's fine. That's 7, 8. Basically 15 signal will reach all the way over here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to run redstone over to these corporeal funnels. Let me actually bring this one over. Make sure the redstone hits it. And then what I want to do is put item frames onto these. And we're going to put one there and one there. And we're going to put, let's see, let me actually request 2 pieces of oak wood. 2 oak wood. There we go. And I'm going to plug this up to the corporeal system. And both of these are going to have oak wood. That's so that I can get an exact count. And what I want to do, let's open this up. And let's see, rotation-wise. 2, 4, 8. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 4, 8. Okay, so this one's going to request 8 oak wood, and this one would be 9, 10, 12. Okay, because I want it to request exactly 12 oak wood every time that it gets a redstone pulse, thus filling this area up. Okay, because this holds 12, right? And that way we have enough oak wood to fill this and only enough oak wood to fill that. So we're not wasting any whenever it pulses. And I'm going to set the pulse up. Well, actually, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to set the pulse just yet. So these should get oak wood, and it should... Let me double check, but I think it should be able to place that. So I'm going to... Well, actually, we'll wait a second. We'll test it once we get everything else set up. Okay? But let's get a couple other things here. First up, I'm going to want a framed drawer that's going to hold our living rock. I mean, our living wood. And I've already made one right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do living rock bricks and then a living rock front. Okay? That way, it's got the contrast that I want. Like we did the living wood to contrast for the living rock. And then I want the living rock to contrast for the living wood. And then I'm also going to need a hopper hawk. There we go. There's our hopper hawk. And then, oh yeah, I'm going to need a pasture seed, right? So there's that. There's that. There's that. There's our floating green flower. And then our floating hopper hawk. And then another thing that I'm going to want, I think I've still got mana spreader in here, right? I do. But I'm also going to want another phantom lens. Okay? Because our lens, or our mana spreaders can't pulse through those floating flowers. They can pulse through normal flowers, but they cannot pulse through floating flowers. So I'm going to have to give this a ghost lens to send the mana, any excess mana back. Okay, so there's our mana lens, and I should have another abstruse platform. Yes. So there's that, and there's our phantom mana lens. And then let me go ahead and convert, I've got 6 mana glass here. I'm going to go ahead and convert that to mana glass panes. Okay? And we're just about done with this build, and we will have automatic living wood and living rock. Now, I'll probably want to put a shutoff switch for the funnels so they can't request anymore, but that's easy to do, and I'll show you how we do that, actually. Now that I think about it, well, I could do it with, well, no. I will have to make a repeater, but that's fine. I think I've actually got the stuff on me to make a repeater. But first up, let's put our mana spreader down right here. And this one's going to be the one that pulses back. Bind mode. Oh, it's still bound to that. Whoops. Go ahead and break that bind. Let me grab that. We'll send it back through there. And then we'll put our phantom lens. Say it's stopping up on that first floating flower. Throw our phantom lens on there, and now it can pulse through that. So if any mana gets down here, it's going to get sent right back over. That's all that's for. And then, let's see. Next up, let's set up our frame drawer. And I'm going to put this... Oops. I won't be able to make that. I will not be able to make that jump, I don't think. Technically I could, but I won't be able to make it. Okay, let's put our floating flower right down here, our floating hopper hawk. And then we're going to put our drawer down, put living wood into that, and then we'll just lock this in. Let me get my key right there. And, oh, by the way, I crafted upgrades for this, storage upgrades and a void upgrade for this one. That way it'll just trash everything after it caps. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to this. We might... Honestly, I don't think this is something, because I could do redstone control, and I might end up doing redstone control that says, whenever this is filled, then send a signal over. Actually, I might just do that. Instead of having the void upgrade... Yeah, let's do that, actually. Instead of having the void upgrade, we'll just have this quit getting wood after a certain point. Okay. So to do that, what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a comparator, and I'm also going to need a repeater. And then let me get a little bit more redstone, because we are going to need just a bit of this. So there's a stack. Okay, so let's pop down there, and we're just going to put some manual override so that it'll stop collecting or getting wood after it caps out the drawer. Or even if it gets near capping out, we'll have it shut off. Okay? So what I want to do is, let's pop over back here. This is actually going to be fun trying to set this up without flight. Oh, I didn't think about that being there. I mean, technically I could have it underneath the living rock. It wouldn't really cause any kind of an issue being back there. So we could have... Let's see. And this is tricky setting this up right here. Actually, you know what? There's a redstone upgrade. Signal for total storage. That's what I want. I'm just going to make one of those. That would be a lot easier than messing with this. Okay. Scratch that. Let me replace these blocks. Okay. And let me pop up there, and I'm going to make one of those redstone upgrades, and we'll just use that to do this. Alright, so upgrade template, and then redstone upgrade. I'll just get two of them, whatever. Not a problem. And then what we'll do is we'll just apply one of these to that. So I could run my redstone down like that, I should think. Yeah, so there's a signal of 1 right now because it's not very full, right? So there's 1, 2, 4. It's 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then what I can do is go 5, and then just bring this over. There's 6. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then we'll put, we'll bring that back up. We'll put a repeater right here, and we'll go ahead and turn this up to One's fine. And then basically just run this out, and we'll have it connect into... we'll just bring it around. That's fine. And we'll just have it connect... No. Okay, how do I want to do this? Actually, if I put the repeater right there, that should do it. Okay. And then it should send the signal through and activate that block as well. Now, doing that, I'm going to have to make one more repeater. I actually don't need the comparator, but let me get one more repeater. Because I for some reason, I didn't think about the redstone upgrade for a second. And this is going to get it, you know, about 2/3 filled, which is plenty of living wood. Honestly, if that gets 2/3 filled, then we're going to have more living wood than we're going to be able to do. We're going to be able to use for a very long time. And then what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to put just another... Let's see, where would be the best place to put this? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this come out, and I'll put the repeater down. We'll put it right there. And then I'll just bring this out one more. Like that. That'll be fine. And the reason I'm putting a repeater there is so that if this side gets a redstone signal, it's not going to activate this pulse mana spreader. And it's not going to lock that pulse mana spreader. So for example, if I was to... Let me get a piece of cobblestone here. Or a lever, that's perfect. That's actually what I was wanting to make. If I was to pulse this like that, okay, you'll notice that all of this gets shut off. Okay? And it's going to basically lock these so that they don't get that pulse, because keep in mind that the funnels only work on a pulse and not on a constant signal. So if this gets filled up enough that it comes up to the repeater, then basically all of this is going to shut down and stop working. Okay? Now, if you notice over here, it doesn't stop the pulse from going out. Well, actually, I guess I would want the pulse to stop, wouldn't I? Yeah, so I don't actually even need the repeater over here, now that I think about it. I would want that set of pulses to stop. So, yeah, I'm going to turn that back off. We'll pull off the repeater. I'm losing my mind. And then I would think that this redstone would transfer through the hourglass to that other piece of redstone, but we'll test it in a minute. I think what we'll do is add just a shutoff switch, so that if I wanted to shut it off, I had the ability to. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just place mana glass along the front. And of course, mana glass is a light source as well, so it'll keep everything lit up. And then I can see everything happen from the front of this. Okay? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to use that redstone control. I'm not going to be able to do it at all. So we are going to use the comparator. In fact, I forgot, because I tried, if I recall correctly, I actually tried using the redstone control in Quantus, and I was not able to use it due to the exact same thing. Okay, so I hate trying to work under this. Okay, so instead we're going to have the comparator come out from that. I am going to grab the redstone upgrade out of that. And I don't know for sure if this would... So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm just going to put the shutoff switch upstairs or something, instead of having it right here, just because that redstone control won't work with the floating hopper hawk and all that. So we'll put the floating hopper hawk back. It shouldn't be affected now with the comparator on top of it, because the comparator is only going to output a signal from the front side. And so now if I was to drop, say, some of this living wood down, like that and that. There we go, it gets picked up. Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, so we're sorted on that. The shutoff switch, I can put it pretty much anywhere up here. We'll add that in just a second. I mean, really, if I wanted to, I could put the switch. We could have the switch like right here, okay? And then have the, I don't know, have a piece of stone right there, for example. And then back in here, just have redstone come out from that block. And then just kind of wind it down through here. And then, say, a piece of dirt right here. And then bring the redstone out. And then just connect it into this line. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off because I don't want it to pulse right now. But just like that. Okay. And there we go. We got a shutoff switch. It's upstairs above this. That's fine. Okay. And that should be good. That should be everything that we need. So we have a manual shutoff and an automatic shutoff. And then we'll just fill this back in. We fill that back in. And then we should be ready to start this, honestly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put corporeal sparks down on top of our 2 funnels. Okay. All we have to do now is just... One thing I do want to test real quick, which I know that's going to pulse that. Okay, the redstone actually does not travel through that. So that one would still go off. And there we go. See, it's getting replaced with oak wood. Alright, so that got all replaced with oak wood. It transformed into living wood. I went ahead and threw our 2 soul sand into this. So we've got a 2-minute timer. Now, technically, I could drop this down and do probably like 1:20, 1:30. I just don't want this to get broken as wood. I want to make sure and give it enough time that even if it does lag up or something, it does transform into living wood. So instead of optimizing this for time, I'm just making sure that wood is transformed because I don't want to waste wood. You know, wood's not being automatically created down there. So that's why I'm giving it 2 minutes. Now basically what's happening is this, of course, is counting down to 2 minutes. Once it hits 2 minutes, it's going to pulse, which it's just about to do it, but it's going to pulse and it's going to send, you know, our bore lens through this, right? So our bore is going to travel through this and break any... There we go. It breaks all the living wood, and then if we give it just a second here, yeah, the hopper hawk does grab them even up here. The hopper hawk grabs all the living wood. Okay, just like what we had before. Very, very simple setup. Over here, since we have this set up the way we do, this corporeal funnel requests 8 wood every time it's pulsed. This one requests 4 wood, so 12 wood in total. And then basically every time the hourglass goes off, it sends a pulse to these. It requests 12 oak wood. And the Rannon Carpus tends to take a second before it starts placing down blocks, which is fine. It's only going to place blocks when there's space. So basically the bore lens breaks all this, and then the Rannon Carpus comes in behind that and places oak wood and fills it back through. Okay, and then it just rinses and repeats. Every 2 minutes, it breaks it, we get 12 living wood. Okay, so now living wood's automated, and if we wanted to, we could shut this off at any time. Now, one thing to note is whenever I shut this off, it is going to pulse this spreader. So, and it's also going to pulse this and request. There's not really anything I can think of off the top of my head to like not have it do that, but that's okay. It's not a big deal, I guess. Now, as for this, because it's not sending the pulse through the hourglass. There's a couple things that I could do to fix that though, and what I think I'm going to do is actually just move the hourglass back one, because I believe if I was to put redstone there and put the hourglass here, yeah, see, it's going to connect to that. And then I can just put the soul sand back in there, and there we go. Okay, so that way this redstone would shut off this spreader as well. Now it will, like I said, it will request 12 oak wood and it will pulse this. So if you're going to shut it off, you're better off waiting until it's all living wood. And then what I can do is shut that off. It's going to break all the living wood. It's going to grab it all, and then the Rannon Carpus is going to go through and place 12 more. Actually, the Rannon Carpus might not. It may have a redstone signal. Now that I think about it, it does have a redstone signal. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I want to shift the Rannon Carpus. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab the Rannon Carpus, grab that block, and if I put the block here, would the Rannon Carpus pick up? Okay, it's placing. Okay, so now the Rannon Carpus will work. It'll place the last bit of oak wood whenever you shut it off. and then it'll just basically stay as living rock or living wood. Okay, so very, very simple. And then if I wanted to ever turn it back on, just flip that switch again, the redstone signal goes off. It doesn't pulse them, and it doesn't request. Okay, so it's basically just going to restart the cycle from the beginning. Okay, very, very simple setup, I think. And now we have living wood and living rock automated in kind of a fancy fashion. Now I will say right now this, I don't think living rock itself is running because mana, basically. It's waiting on mana from this system, and this system I think is out of mana at the moment. No, it's pulsing. It's just, I think it's sending all of it over to that right now, which it's going to take a little bit before. Oh yeah, there we go. I can actually see it placing and stuff. Of course, we can only see this front section. That's perfectly fine. I'm happy with the way this looks. Like, I'm very, very happy with the way it looks. And then all we have to do is just come over, which right now I've got almost 6 stacks of living rock. You know, in the short time that it was running, it's not a problem if that's shut off for right now. But I can just come through here and cover this all now in dirt, because this is done. I mean, this is, I'm perfectly happy with it. There is a chance that it can do that. I guess a very, very small chance. I could put a hopper hawk down here. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how much of an issue it is, if it's doing that a lot or not. But I should think that the 2-minute cycle should allocate enough time to this that it doesn't happen. But if it becomes an issue, what I can do is I can just put a hopper hawk petite, like right in here, and have it set to pick up oak wood, so that it doesn't affect the Random Carpus setup over there. But I don't know that it's really going to become an issue. We'll see. Like I said, we'll give it some time. We'll see what happens and kind of play it by ear. But yeah, and so now you can't even tell there's a setup down here, but there is in fact a living wood and living rock setup back there, right back there. So I am happy with it. I'm very, very happy with it. And if it wastes a little bit of wood on occasion, that's fine. Basically, I'm just going to let it build up a bit of wood, and then I'm just going to shut it off, you know. So we'll go ahead and check that off the list. Living wood, living rock. The only adjustment I could see myself making is if wood gets wasted a lot, then I'll just put a petite hopper hawk to pick up any wood that gets wasted, and basically just dump it right back into the system using an ender actuator. Okay? And that's only in the occasion that it breaks or it wastes a lot. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And we've almost got a stack of living wood. So, great stuff. But anyways, I know it's wrapping up point, so I am going to end out this episode here. If you guys have any questions, as always, let me know, and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, bear in mind that episode 20 will be a world download, so you guys will be able to get your hands on it if you have any questions. Jump into the world, play around with it, and all that. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun with this build. It took a little bit. I know this episode is going to be coming out a little bit late on Wednesday. I do apologize. And actually, I know that the episode was originally scheduled for Tuesday, but basically I was bug testing within this pack, and then last week, of course, I was working on Craft of the Titans for a few hours a day, and then in addition, I was moving stuff in Project Ozone. Basically, all 3 of my packs, I had a lot of stuff that I was working through, so everything took a little bit to get, and I got a little bit behind on videos. I do apologize, but we should be all sorted now. So, also today I'll be posting the poll for what we should replace Craft of the Titans with, since it's not working. So, you know, stay tuned for a link for that on the channel discussion or on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, any of those. So, anyways, gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay up to date with when new videos come out. Next episode, I believe we are going to spend a bit of time working on Ars Magica, maybe Astral Sorcery, and maybe automate stone. We will be automating like cobblestone and stuff. Those aren't as big of a rush, but I would like to get stone automated very, very soon, because I need it for building purposes. So that's the plan right now, is we'll probably start out with stone automation, maybe start delving into Astral Sorcery, but I do want to do a bit with Ars Magica for getting armor repaired and stuff like that, because I don't want our stuff to break anymore. Anyways, I hope you guys join me for that, and until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time.